What's up, NIO family? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's happening with NIOs. He had some big news that just came out. I'm going to break down what's happening with the overall market for tomorrow. So it's going to be a very crazy day since we have lots of data coming out, not to mention new tariffs from President Trump. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below or in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. And deposit $5,000, you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. You also qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, and the offer ends in just about 8 hours from now. So please check out the offer before they run out. Anyways, NIO is dipping right here. We did talk about how it's going to likely be dipping towards the 4.4 area. We came towards 4.47, so it came a little bit close to our targets. But instead of continuing to fall, we got a very, very nice bounce. And that's some good news. Now, if this continues to hold, we're looking for attempts to get back above $5 because we're seeing a lot of excitement about the L90 and more very, very good news. So, looking at what NIO is posting so far, we got some talks about the ET9 from William Lee Bin. And don't forget that tomorrow we also have their sales data that's going to be coming out. So I can't wait to see what their numbers look like, at least for the month of July. That's going to be very important for the share price. So be ready for some important sales data coming out for tomorrow. On top of this, there's been a lot of talk about how NIO is looking for some very strong expectations for the second half of the year, especially as they have their new sub brand launching the L90 and such. That's going to be very important for them. On top of this, we also have Goldman Sachs giving them a neutral rating. We're also seeing the price-price ratio increasing in value right here. We're going to see how this continues. And also when it comes to seasonality, you guys could quite clearly tell that Fridays tend to be green about 53% of the time. So keep all of that in mind. With that being said, I just wanted to mention that for Thursday, we just got Apple and Amazon announcing their earnings. One is going up and one is going down. Apple did very, very well with great iPhone sales. Revenue is up 10%, beating expectations. And their EPS did relatively well, once again, surprising a lot of people because many people thought that the threats of the high tariffs really hurt them. The tariffs will, at least to some extent, hurt them, but it depends on what happens with China and other factors. But despite that, despite the fact that they mentioned that, overall, they're still looking at very strong sales and they had double digit growth. And then at the same time, they're still looking at some pretty decent guidance. So that's some good news for them as well. The share price is still holding up quite well. So that's some good news for Apple. When it comes to Amazon, their earnings were decent. They ended up beating expectations. Good growth overall, but it wasn't really enough to wow investors. And that's why the share price is still kind of flat. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. Keep in mind it's the first day of August, and we have some important data coming out. We have unemployment numbers at 8:30 a.m. Then we have the ISM manufacturing numbers, which could also cause some volatility. So keep that in mind. Expect some volatility at 10:30 a.m. Then we also have President Trump announcing his tariffs. He is giving Mexico another 90 days to once again make a deal. But besides that, the majority of tariffs will be imposed. So that's what President Trump has said when he has the extension. We're also waiting to see how things end up going with Korea. There's a new trade deal that was announced. Um, Basically, they're going to be hit with 15% tariffs. And this is a summary of all the tariffs. We have 15% on South Korea. The new rate is right here. The EU has 15%. And then China, keep in mind with China, we're just waiting for trade talks. So nothing is confirmed yet. China has more time to make their deal, so that could be more impactful for NIO. For now, as long as you don't lose 4.47 or 4.74, excuse me, we're looking more bullish and we're favoring a move above $5. On SPY, we're looking a little bit weak right here. We're kind of flat right here. We're at support. But overall, this is a very, very weak looking setup because every time we're hitting 640, now we're just rejecting over and over again. We also have a big bearish engulfing candle again. So what could happen is we're going to see if we could hold support right here or not. If we get a small bounce, but ultimately, if we can't take out this high, I do expect this to start dipping to fill this gap around 629, and eventually we're expecting 625 for more downside. We're looking more bearish. Even on the QQQ, might bounce a bit before it starts dumping for basically 559 or below. It looks more bearish to me. The Russell 2000 is looking more bearish. We are expecting 216 very soon. ES is looking quite bearish. We're also going to be expecting this to dip towards 63.33 or below, the low 6300s. NQ is favoring 23,150 or below. It looks more bearish. Bitcoin is looking weaker. If we can't hold 116,000, then we're looking for basically 115,000. 115,000 is our next potential target. Tesla might be dipping towards 303. Looks kind of weak to me. Nvidia is looking a bit more bearish. Got a rejection here. It could be dipping for essentially 174. And we're going to see if that holds or not. Aapl is bullish. It's actually at 213 right now. We're going to see if we could hold above that. We could be retesting 216 or so. It's up about 3% in the after hours. And we'll see how well it holds up. Despite that, AMD is looking more bearish. We got another rejection on here, favoring a move back down to 170. Coinbase is looking weaker. We're going to see if 377 holds. If not, we're looking for a move lower. I think we're going to be dipping to 334 as we're dumping in the after hours. For Amazon, we're a little bit weak in the after hours. We're currently down about 5%. Could be dipping towards 218, so this is slowing the market down. Meta is also showing some weakness, although it held up very nicely here. We're going to see if this starts to cool off a bit, if we could hold above 780 or not. If not, we could be retesting the 760s. Google's kind of flat here, might be dipping towards 187. And then Microsoft also might be dipping a little bit. It might kind of pop towards 540 before it consolidates and slowly makes its way down for 525. The VIX is also starting to break out here. This is looking bullish on the daily chart off this bullish divergence. Could be pushing for 17.8 plus as the market continues to sink. Amazon may also slow the market down a bit, so be prepared, guys. We have unemployment numbers coming out tomorrow alongside more data. We'll see if we get a small bounce off 632, but ultimately the market is looking weak. We got a bearish engulfing candle. We're looking very, very weak right here. I think we're favoring the downside for now. So be prepared for a small bounce and a dump. I wouldn't be surprised if we start dipping towards like the high 620s very, very soon. The market may be weak, but NIO is showing some strength. We're favoring a move back up towards $5 or more. So please keep that in mind. Anyways, that's it for this one. I want to thank you all so much for listening. And one more thing about NIO, tomorrow morning, we might be getting our deliveries numbers for the month of July because in China, the time is ahead, right? In China, it's almost going to be like August 2nd. So when we get deliveries numbers, we're going to see what that leads to. Hopefully, they did very, very well for the month of July, and that could help the share price to some extent. That could help us try to bounce, in my opinion. So hopefully, we do well, and we'll have to see how it goes. But with that being said, I just want to thank you all so much for listening. NIO is looking quite strong. There's a good chance it tries to push a bit higher. So I wish everyone nothing but the best, and I will see you guys very soon on my next video. Hopefully they do very, very well with delivery. So I just wish NIO and their team good luck. And hopefully the second half of the year is much stronger and the company could be looking for a lot more upside for the share price. All right. So don't forget, tomorrow morning we have unemployment numbers. Then we have the ISM manufacturing numbers at 10:30 a.m. And then we have President Trump's tariff deadline, which could also cause more fears in the markets. So get ready, guys, and do what you have to do. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for listening, and peace out.